Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today we're going to talk about the 80-20 of TikTok ads for lead generation. Let's dive in. Okay, so some of you might know that I ran an Ask Me Anything on TikTok ads yesterday, and it was about 2 hours long, and there was lots of questions and kind of lots of stuff discussed, right? So I kind of wanted to condense it into, the best bits, so you can take this away if you want and kind of run with it without having to watch the whole thing. Saying that, pinned to the first comment will be the complete recording with some kind of bonuses and extra stuff that I've thrown in. Check it out. You're going to love it. It's really powerful stuff, right? Especially if you're a lead gen in competitive pay-per-lead niches, okay? The first thing that I kind of discussed in the webinar was where people should focus. There's so many different elements. When it comes to, running TikTok ads, of course, you've got to have a client to run TikTok ads to. The next thing is you've got to figure out your niche. And then the next thing is to figure out your hooks in those niches, okay? Which is super important, especially the angles into the market, niches, sub-niches within niches, all of that stuff, okay? And then you move on to getting the creative done. And then you've got to point the traffic at a landing page or a lead form. And then you've got to figure out how to deliver the leads to multiple clients. And then you've got to think about quality and all of that type of stuff, right? So as you can see, there's lots of different elements to the big picture of TikTok ads, right? I could talk for hours on each of those different elements, right? But the one thing that I've learned, the biggest thing that moves the needle the most, the 80-20 of TikTok ads, is focusing on the creative, right? So inside the Ask Me Anything that we did, we just focused on the creative. We went really deep, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 things you can do inside those TikTok ads that are going to move the needle really quickly. And hopefully you can take these kind of tips away and implement into your TikTok campaigns, or even get started on TikTok very quickly. The fastest way to win is to hire UGC actors, or user-generated content actors, in order to kind of read out your scripts or whatever that is, right? So TikTok's kind of a native platform, and people can scroll quickly through the different ads and move on to the next one, or the different bits of content. You need to be able to kind of blend in and show, native content that stops the scroll, okay? And if you've got like a stock images slideshow or some kind of really crappy, video that just kind of stands out and looks very different to everything else, then it's not going to work, right? So what I talked about inside the Ask Me Anything was how you can hire these actors for dirt cheap, what that looks like, how much it costs, and also how to write a script to be able to give to these actors, so they can kind of read it out and then send that back to you, and then you can go into TikTok's backend to do all of the editing, right? So we've got a community called UGC Hub. It's a Facebook group, and you can go there and you can request to join, speak to James or whatever, and he'll let you in. There is a small fee involved, but then you'll be able to have like access to 3,500 actors in all sorts of different countries, male, female, different age brackets, different accents. So you'll literally be able to find an actor that matches your kind of offer perfectly every single time, right? And the great thing about this is that you're not going to have to go to Fiverr or any of these other places and have big commercial rights agreements. You're not going to get charged extra for when you add a few, 25 extra words to the script or whatever that is. You can negotiate with the actor directly. You can message them on Facebook. You can get them onto a long-term permanent part-time role. You can get stuff literally done on the same day, right? The whole point is that if you can get a script done quickly, go into that group, get an actor, get the video done. You can have like an amazing creative that a lot of people don't have the ability to create for, less than $100 and get it done on the same day. All right. And this is how you win on TikTok. It's all about the creative. Why don't you go and check out that group, Facebook group, UGC Hub, or DM James. And, it's just such a great community. You'll love it. James Millard's his name. Okay. Another thing that we discussed, which is going to move the needle quickly for you if you are running ads on TikTok, or you want to run ads on TikTok. And by the way, there's a link to the pinned comment if you want to see the whole recording. I'm just kind of summarizing things for you here. But one thing with TikTok is that it's kind of a music-based platform, right? I think when it first started, it was all about people dancing, and it was always to music, right? And there still is a lot of the kind of organic content. There's always music in the background, right? So I can't be sure of this, But one thing that we have seen working is when you have music inside the ads, it just means that the algorithm sends your ads out to a wider audience for a cheaper cost, right? But sometimes the issue with that is if you have the music and the kind of person reading a script in the background, they kind of clash with each other. So one hack that we've learned is to reduce the sound down to about 5%, so it can be barely heard or not even heard at all. But according to the algorithm, TikTok still thinks there's music in the ad, and it works super well. It's just a simple, fast hack you can use to get really fast results. And it's definitely worth a split test regardless if you are running ads. Another really fast and simple thing you can try when you are hiring actors, or if you want to do this yourself, if you're kind of part of your own brand, is to use what we call the kind of changing rooms hack. Like you're seeing here where I'm sitting with the background and you're probably bored of me talking already, right? Like there's not much kind of movement going on, and it doesn't really kind of engage the user quickly, especially when it's an ad and there's a short attention span of the actual user, right? So what you want to do is have about 5 seconds with someone talking, and then the next 5 seconds could be them in a different room, and then they could move outside, and then they could go back into the garage. If the ad's about kitchen remodeling, then they can be in front of the kitchen, or there's so many different things you can do there to get creative. But the main idea is that you kind of break things up, move your actor around their house or wherever that is to kind of keep the audience engaged. What just sprang to mind is the $1 Million Shave Club, where he's kind of just walking through the warehouse and a lot of cool stuff's going on around him. It's the same concept as that, okay? So give that a go. If you are hiring actors to do stuff, then ask them to do this, and you're gonna see that the ads gain more attention, get longer view rates, and bring your leads in cheaper. Okay, so that wraps up 3 kind of cool things that you can implement and test that came out of yesterday's Ask Me Anything. Again, there'll be a link in the pinned comments to find that. I really do hope you enjoy it. And I'll leave you on this one thing, right? When we were talking to James, I think someone asked him, what for a media buyer, what's the kind of geeky things that you can see? It's the difference between like Facebook ads and TikTok, right? So James said that the CPMs are a third or less of Facebook, and he challenged anyone that is able to get a good UGC actor type ad made for their vertical or their niche. He believes that you can 100% of the time get cheaper leads on TikTok than you can on Facebook, and he said the quality is as good or better. All right, so if you're listening to this and you haven't tried it already, you should go ahead and check that out. You're going to really enjoy it, and hopefully it also means you're going to have another string to your bow if you're just heavily relying on Facebook, and we know that can be a problem. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you did like this video, please give us a like so we know to create more like this. Comment below if you've got any further questions, or we can help point you in the right direction. And lastly, subscribe to our channel over here at Flexxable so you'll be the first to know when we create new content. I'll speak to you soon.